On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry, and joining us today is
who is it?
veteran Madison Reyes.
I know! I put this on to walk the dogs because truthfully, I didn't have to wear a bra with it or anything.
No, I love it. I actually
just stayed on.
I have so much camo, so one to talk. And you just said actually right before we hit record that I am dressed like Ed Gein again, which I have been wearing so much plaid lately because it's winter. It just feels right.
It does. It feels right. You're closer to his hometown now, right?
I guess. Okay, wait. We didn't record last week in real life, right?
No, it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. Yeah, I mean, so we're off a little bit, which we'll talk about when I get to my coffin spinner. But I hate to take a break.
Honestly, it throws me off so much. Like
So
this
much.
whole week, I'm like, I feel weird. Like, and last week I felt weird.
Yeah.
It's like it just, it feels weird.
It's always weird just taking a week off because I'm like, I just want to do the show.
I know. I want to talk to my girlie on camera.
On camera. Well, we did talk a lot. Actually, probably more this week because we weren't working. We were calling each other all the time like, well, what am I supposed to do? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? We did have book club this weekend.
We did.
I almost missed it. For some reason, I thought it was going to be at 5:00. I have no idea why. Don't know what the hell.
Was it at 2:00?
It was, but 12:00 my time.
And 2:00 mine. Okay.
Yes, yeah. I don't know.
We made it.
We made it. It was a great book club. I feel like everyone is much smarter than us.
Girl, sometimes we sit there and we're like,
We're like, wait, that's what it was about?
oh, there's a theme we've now caught on after it's been explained to us. So if you're wondering how book club was for us, but I did read a lot on our break, like more for fun. I've been reading. Not that the book club isn't fun. I love the book club, but I've been reading books
I'm almost done with the book club book for this month.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, you're reading like some fantasy horny shit.
Girl, don't call it that.
Come on, it is.
Some smut. I am, and I love it. I love it because I read a lot. I would say I'm well read. In fact, I read a lot, especially for cult leader, obituary sometimes, but mostly for cult leader, I'm reading a lot. And so I hadn't really started reading any sort of fantasy books ever as an adult. And then the champ reads, like, he loves like the Dune movies and like Future and this and that. And so he's gotten me on some like fantasy books, and some I'm like, okay, this is too crazy. I can't take it. But then some are so good. And it's fun to reading is so fun. It's so fun when you just get like sucked into a book and you just can't take it. You're like, tell me what's next. And I will say this, any book that has any sort of like sex in it, you are reading because you're like, fucking give it to me. I know it's coming. Give it to me.
Yeah. And you know what? It is one of those things. And I know it's all like societal things we put on ourselves, but like, I feel guilty being on TikTok or Instagram or anything too long. I don't feel guilty reading. I feel like, that's what you should be doing with your downtime, even though it's still like entertainment, right?
Fully, yeah.
But I don't feel guilty about it. I'm like, yeah, I was reading. Sorry.
No, I love it. And I've been trying to read at night because for the longest time, I was a TV before bed type of person. I always fell asleep. I'd put the timer on the TV and go to bed. But then the champ is not that way. So then I had to adjust to that. Now I kind of like will still go back on that sometimes and like watch a little something after he goes to sleep. But I've been reading before bed, as have you.
Yeah.
And it is so nice because it just helps you unwind, I feel like, versus like I've also been so guilty before of like laying in bed at night scrolling on my phone like as I'm falling asleep
for
and I'm
hours.
Like, cannot be good.
Cannot be good. No, it's not good. You like
I'm like, oh, I know the news happening in every country and I know every possible like terrorist scenario. Like I don't need to know this right before I reach my slumber. I didn't tell you, and this is an honest to God, I didn't tell you. I had a dream we murdered somebody last night.
What? Tell me.
I am so glad I just remembered this.
Me and you?
Yes, I told the champ on my walk this morning.
Was he surprised or no?
He said, you have some crazy dreams. Should I be concerned?
Yes.
I said, yes. You and I were in the Hollywood Hills, and yes, girl, but it's not good. We are in the Hollywood Hills. Oh, it's probably because we're reading a Manson book right now.
Yeah, of course.
We're in the Hollywood Hills and it's like modern day. So casual. You and I were on a walk together. It was lovely. We were just like walking around like a little cul-de-sac together and like just having good conversation. We realized like there's no way to like get through, or for some reason we're like, oh, it'll be easier to just like go through this person's house. So we went up to their like back door, faced the hill, and kind of like my last house almost.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And we walked up to the back door and the door was open. So we let ourselves in and we're like, hello. And there's a guy standing there with like two of his friends in the kitchen. And we're like, oh, sorry. Like we just wanted to like, we were wondering, he's like, you want to go through our front door? And I was like, is that okay? He's like, yeah, go ahead. Like it was maybe just like a regular thing that happened in the neighborhood or something. Girl, the second we walked out of that front door, we looked at each other like, oh shit, we killed his wife. At some point, we must have killed his wife.
Oh my God.
And we were both like, oh shit, what the fuck are we going to do?
Oh my God.
So we take off, right? We're going. I'm at a hotel.
On foot?
On foot. I'm in a hotel in Hollywood. You're in a convertible with some girl I don't know. And I'm like I'm at the hotel like lobby bar and I'm trying to order breakfast. I'm like all of a sudden this time has passed. Our walk was in the evening and then it's morning. Oh. And I'm like, oh my God. And then you call me and you're like, hey, we're supposed to meet at Swingers. Let's go get breakfast. And I was like, Madison, that is way too close to where the murder happened. We cannot go to Swingers.
But we're psychopaths, so we want to be close to the crime scene.
I guess. And so we ended up meeting up and we were like, we have to go to Mexico. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of the end of the dream, was like, we were like out of there. We're going to Mexico.
What are we? What are those two ladies?
Cliff, Carr.
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise. Fuck, man. We felt so guilty because I remember like it was so crazy because it was one of those dreams where in the dream I knew like we are fucked. And I was like having that, like, I was like getting chills and I was getting like, oh my God, we're going to prison. And I woke up feeling like, oh my God, thank God we didn't actually kill somebody.
Oh, we really did it this time.
We've really done it now. We've done a lot of things. We've gotten into a lot of things, but murder is one. You and I could never murder someone and let that go on record, because we talk things to death all the time. Mm-hmm. And I think we would somehow talk ourselves into thinking like, okay, we have to just admit what we did. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't go well for us. We both have really heavy, guilty consciences.
Well, yeah, big time. But it also depends, like, if it was a self-defense kind of situation, I think you and I could rip someone limb to limb.
Yep. I was just at the gun range.
You were, yeah.
I got a bullseye, baby. I'm
A
locked
good
and
shot.
loaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't come to my house. Don't try me. But yeah, it was... Dreams like that are always so unsettling, but it's always like a weird relief too, because I'm like, oh my God, thank God we didn't kill anyone. And it's like, well, of course.
That post-dream relief, it's like post-nut clarity. You know, it's like, it's like, oh, phew.
So, Geoffs, we didn't kill anyone.
No, we didn't. I had a reoccurring murder dream. I had like skeletons in my basement. And I was like, oh, they're going to find out. They're going to find out, like, under my house. It was probably after reading, like, a John Wayne Gacy article or something. But,
Or
like,
probably you did an episode about, what was that society? Oddfellows.
Oddfellows.
Uh-huh.
But also, remember Benjamin Franklin had, like, skeletons in his
Yes.
basement?
I don't know, girl. We talk about a lot of fucked up shit. It's surprising that we don't have more nightmares.
That is true. I know. It's kind of concerning, actually.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Disassociate.
Do you want to hear something disturbing also?
Yeah.
I have a listener email. It's funny, but it is also like, girl, what the fuck? Okay. Hi, Spencer.
Hi.
Madison, Hot Dog, Doris, and Desi. Come on, we need Frankie in there. We need
Yeah, don't forget
Yaki.
Frankie. Oh, yeah, and Yaki.
Cisco said when anybody comes over, he's like, you're embarrassing. Because I go, hi, you want to see my lizard?
But she's not talking about the animal.
Yeah, baby. Big fan of the pod. I've been listening for a couple of months now, and I'm catching up really fast. I could go on and on about how much you two make me laugh with your banter or cry over some of the truly touching obits. Well, keep going.
Do it.
Come on, please.
We won't stop you.
No, how could we? Keep doing what you're doing. Love you both. I hope you guys get to read this on the pod as it still makes me laugh. My name is Kirby and feel free to use it. Everyone else in the story's names will be omitted, but my mom did give me permission to send this in. Hope you enjoy. I have a little story for you about my mom. I was recently listening to an older episode where you were talking about cremains that might show up at a thrift store, and it reminded me of this. My mom used to own a consignment store, and I worked for her for years. One day, a customer who was a regular at the store came in with a small box she wanted to consign. She said it had incense inside. My mom took the box from her, but as soon as it unlatched, a cascade of gray powder and little chunks came pouring out all over her. And I mean everywhere. She had dust between her toes, all over her shirt, and her pants were completely covered. The woman immediately apologized, and my mom couldn't help but laugh and say, please just tell me that wasn't somebody. The woman insisted it was only incense and that everything was fine. Until my mom noticed her pull a piece of paper from the bottom of the bag, crumple it up, and shove it in her pocket.
Oh, no.
What a freak.
Oh, my God. Us, though.
We're giving cremains. Obviously, my mom saw this and instantly felt alarm bells going off. She asked what she had put in her pocket. The woman slowly took the paper out, smoothed it, and handed it over. It turns out it was an obituary clipping of her brother-in-law who had died by suicide. My poor mom was horrified to realize she was, in fact, covered in a somebody.
That brother.
The worst part is that the woman was genuinely the sweetest, kindest person you could ever meet. She was a young mom who was always so grateful for my mom's store because it helped her clear out her house. After the incident, she kept coming back with gift baskets to apologize, begging my mom to not ban her from the store, which of course my mom would never do. My mom and I still laugh about it to this day. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this and get to read it on the pod. Love, Kirby. P.S. We did have a few self-proclaimed psychics and mediums say they kept seeing the shadow of a man moving around the store after the incident. But I guess we'll never really know. Well, Kirby, thank you. Before you say anything, Spence, I have to say, I think that woman who brought it in saying this is only incense and it's a consignment store, so she's trying to sell it, is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, even if it was incense, why are you giving burned incense powder? Like, that's what I don't get.
It wasn't incense.
The story's not. No, it was man.
It was man that she was trying to consign.
Can we put up a picture? We have cremains and incense. Different things.
Yeah. Cremains don't freak me out anymore. Like, it wouldn't really bother me.
No.
I would just laugh, but...
Body parts, if those were in there, I'd be upset.
Bones I'm okay with. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if there's like anything slimy.
Nothing slimy.
Yeah, no.
Even skin, whatever at this point. Ed Gein. Oh, actually, speaking of, we watched Frankenstein on actual Thanksgiving.
So good. Did you love it?
So good. Yes, I loved it. Well, we had done a pre-Thanksgiving with the Champs family. They came into town and we did a pre-Thanksgiving with them. We did we cooked the full fucking meal for them. And then, so on actual Thanksgiving, it was just the two of us, and we had just had like 3 weekends in a row of hosting. So we just wanted to veg out, and we just ordered like a ton of Indian food and watched Frankenstein, and it was just the best. Yeah, I thought the movie was so beautiful.
Right? I loved it. I loved it. Oh, I had a crazy Thanksgiving. My brother got two hibachi men to come. And they cooked hibachi for all of us, and they brought out super soakers.
Full of sake?
Full of sake. And all of us were drunk.
Oh my God, it was the best.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Those videos were so good. I was laughing.
It was great.
All right. Well, on to business. We've got some assholes for us.
Some asshole business.
Some asshole business, and we mean it. Speaking of cooking, Madison, our first Am I the Asshole says, am I the asshole for keeping a family cookbook that was previously thrown away?
Well, we need to know what is inside the cookbook, I think.
It says, more than 10 years ago, my sister-in-law's mother-in-law passed away. The family cleaned out her house, took what they wanted, and then decided to toss the rest. Before it was tossed, my sister-in-law said to see if there was anything that I wanted. All I could find was an old cookbook, which was in plain sight on the kitchen table. Fast forward to this year, when I posted a photo of my island with cookbooks all over it, I was looking for a certain recipe. My brother-in-law saw the photo in his mother's cookbook and then demanded its return. I refused. The whole family is in an uproar. Half are on my side, half on his. I've had to block quite a few from being able to contact me as they were getting really rude. Am I the asshole for not returning it? If I hadn't taken it, it was going to be thrown away.
Yeah, but if it's the person's mom's, like if it's her brother-in-law's, who I'm assuming that's his mother.
Yeah.
Give it back.
Just give it back. They were voted not the asshole. And
which I get, like I get it was going to be thrown out, but like.
But if they're asking for it, just give it to him, to them. Like, yeah. Was it, unless you had like, well, actually maybe this, if they had a really close relationship with that woman and like it was special to them, I could see keeping it. But like, it feels too weird if it, like anytime anything gets weird, I'm immediately like, just give it to them. Who cares? Just give it away.
You know what would be cute? Go to Kinko's. Is that still a thing?
Okay, picture it. Geoff's getting a time machine. Go back to 1994. All right, you're going to go to the Kinko's on Brown Street.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and you're going to photocopy the whole cookbook. Get it laminated.
Laminate it, baby.
Do a little arts and crafts
spiral ring. Yeah.
Spiral ring.
You're going to go to Michael's. You're going to get some miniatures. And you are going to put little frying pan, little egg.
3D. We're doing 3D.
3D.
For every little recipe. And we're going to make beautiful little laminated. I'm talking shiny.
Shiny. You could write on it with dry erase marker and rub it right off.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you're going to make that for the whole family. And you will give the brother-in-law the original, okay, that's your mom.
For Christmas, everyone's getting the cookbook.
Everybody's getting the cookbook. And I think that's beautiful and wonderful. That's the great thing about cookbooks, you know? Yep.
That's it. Solved it. This next one says, am I the asshole for telling my friend I was hurt that she canceled our birthday plans for a guy right after her mom died?
Okay.
It says, I, 34 female, have a friend, Lena, 37 female, who tends to get attached to men very fast. I care about her, but I sometimes struggle with how much she centers dating. A month ago, she invited me to spend her birthday together, just us two. Her B-day was 4 weeks away. 2 weeks later, her mom was hospitalized and she canceled some plans we had made that weekend. Totally understandable. The next day, she told me she'd gone on a date with a guy visiting from Portugal. It felt odd timing-wise, but I didn't say anything. The day after that, her mom passed away. She immediately flew home for the funeral. Over the next 2 weeks, she told me she was exhausted, but looking forward to coming back, reconnecting, and celebrating her birthday with me as planned. Then yesterday, she told me that the Portugal guy wanted to visit again, and the only day he was available was her birthday. So she was going to spend it with him instead. I told her very calmly that I was disappointed she was canceling our plans for a guy, especially after saying she needed support and a hug. She apologized and invited me to hang out with them both, but I said I'd feel weird third wheeling a date, and I offered to see her Friday instead, but she didn't reply. Now I'm worried I misjudged the moment and should have been more flexible given her grief. Am I the asshole for saying that I was hurt?
I kind of think so. I am all for do not start putting a guy in front of your girlfriends, all of that. However, the person's mom just passed 2 weeks prior, and she's probably not thinking straight. Let her do what makes her feel good at this moment and not make it about you, I think.
Yeah, I see that. And it's also, it's her birthday. If she wants to just get a little B-day action to get her mind off things, let her.
Yeah. I think you need to give people grace especially when it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah. The person was voted not the asshole. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure everyone had their different reasonings for it, but...
Well, asshole does feel harsh. Like, I don't think this person's an asshole. I don't discount their hurt, of course. But when it's like a loss of a mom, I don't know. I don't think the person's thinking straight and just probably doing what gives them some relief.
I'm also, because I'm same way as you. I'm like, you cannot put a guy before the girls, okay, ever. And we've talked about that before. Like, if we want to hang out, we're going to hang out. And it's never like and I'm bringing this person. It's always like that needs to be clarified because that is a friend thing. Remember on Real Housewives when Alex wanted to bring Simon to the girls' night or whatever?
To everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. We've done an asshole about that before, actually. I remember too. I love the champ. Love of my life. Fire of my loins. All of that. But like, if I'm going to go on a girly night, he's not coming to that, and vice versa. He has his friends, and like, I don't know. I just have never gotten that like codependent, like, oh, if I go, they have to go too. Like,
no, thank you.
No,
no, thank you.
No. I don't need to know what we're saying. Also, thank you to everyone who put us on your, or we were like your top podcast on Spotify. Oh my gosh. I love seeing the Spotify Wrapped every year.
Me too. It's so fun.
And
is the age thing new? Like for the, like your listening age?
Do you have Spotify?
No.
She's still on Tidal.
I'm still on Tidal. And you know what? Okay.
She's staying there. She's staying there.
Please.
The age thing is, mine was like 70 years old. Mm-hmm. I don't listen to podcasts on Spotify. The only podcasts that I listen to are on YouTube. And so like I listen to Theo Vaughn. I know that would be my top like podcast listened to, but yeah, I didn't have I had my top artist was Zach Top. Which he was firing off bangers this year. And I was listening to all of them. Did
you see him? There's a video of him performing with a cigarette in his mouth.
Cool.
Sounding so great.
Yeah, I've seen that video actually. He's cool. He's cool. He's 90s country and I love it. And actually, I just saw a video of him doing a cold plunge with Dierks Bentley, which was because Tuesday night, the champ and I went to the Pinnacle in Nashville, which is such a nice venue. Bitch, they had individual bathrooms with deadbolts and they were clean and pretty, this venue. It was nice.
Was it big?
Not huge. But big, but not huge. Yeah. It wasn't like a Coliseum type vibe. And we went in because it was like a country versus cancer thing. And it was put on by Hardy, who we love. We love Hardy in this house. Because we had seen him open for someone once before, and we were like, okay, he's actually totally rocking out.
He's fucking rocking and rolling.
He's so amazing live. And so I saw he was doing putting this on. And so he performed, and so did Dirk Bentley. So did Miranda Lambert, who I hadn't gotten to see live before. So I loved it. I thought it was time of my life. Time of my life. It was so fun. But I had been looking at everyone's like Instagrams before, and Dirk Bentley had posted a video with Zach Top doing like a cold plunge or something. And
shit.
And I think, was Riley Green in it? Maybe. I don't know.
Everyone had their shirt off.
I just couldn't see what was happening. I didn't look, of course, because I'm spoken for, you know.
And you're straight.
And I'm straight. As a heterosexual man.
Oh, God. Well.
Not me. Everyone's clocking it. I get called a faggot every day on the internet. Okay. Well, I am up first this week, which means that you should have a little side bitch for us, Madison.
I do. And it's sad, girl.
Wait, sorry. I have to show this gaudy coffee cup. I didn't realize it had jewels on it.
Ooh. You're straight.
This is a straight man's mug. Look at that.
Girl, I can't see it. Are you 80 fucking years old? You are in... I just saw the side of you bending over. Look at that.
Well, I'm showing it to the camera, you bitch.
Oh, okay,
they could see it.
Well, I couldn't.
It's bedazzled.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I just saw it as like it had the trees on it, and so I grabbed them, and then I was at the checkout, and I was like, it's too late. They're coming home. You're coming home with me.
It's cute. It's so cute.
Whatever. I'm old.
It's fine. So am I. Okay.
All right. Sad.
It is sad. So
okay.
I actually found it on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook, but I just found it on there. From Jamaican Car Plugs, he posted this. Rest in peace to the Nissan Altima. The only car that's been on the road since 1992 and is still out here outrunning Mustangs, dodging potholes like it's Fast and the Furious, and surviving owners who never changed the oil since Obama's first term. From the early 90s, when the first Altima rolled out with the little flower vase on the dashboard, to the early 2000s, when every teenager with a fresh license tried to hit 120 on the highway, to the 2013 to 2018 era, when Altimas became the official car of people who swear they don't speed but got 8 speeding tickets. And let's not forget the 2020s, when the Altima became known nationwide as the unofficial getaway car of TikTok, swerving through traffic like it got somewhere important to be. Through all these generations, it's been wrecked, it's been revived, it's been pushed, pulled, and prayed over. It's been driven on E more than any vehicle in American history. Yet somehow, it always made it home. Today we honor a true survivor. 1992 to forever, gone but never forgotten. May it rest after doing 140 miles per life.
Are they gone?
Yeah, they're stopping them.
They are?
Yes, they're not going to be producing Nissan Altimas anymore.
Driving a Nissan Altima, it's always the craziest drivers. And also those and Hyundai Elantras, I think is the one. Always going to be a crazy driver. And any girl I know that has driven either of those cars has been crazy. Crazy. I know. It's always like, it's the type B friend always driving those cars.
But
here's funny.
Hold on. Here's a little.
In the arms of Altima, drive away from here.
In this cold dawn,
Beautiful.
Rest in peace, girl.
Rest in peace. Well, we're going to take a quick break while we pay our respects to the Nissan Altima. And when we come back, we're going to tell you what had me spin. We're going to both do it. We're going to tell you what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Yep. Something. We just murdered someone. Sorry.
We just got away with a horrific crime that you people know. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin these days?
This week. Well, leave it to us, girly. The people who take 2 episodes off a year to be out of office when news breaks that a woman wakes up in her coffin.
New?
New, girl. So my coffin spinner will probably be on the shorter side today, but there is no way that I was going to miss an opportunity to tell this story because it's so fucking crazy.
No, tell us.
This went down during the last week of November of this year at a Buddhist temple in Thailand called Wat Rat Prakung Thom. And so basically what happens is there's this woman, she is 65 years old. And she passes away, or so they thought. Her brother drives her a while later to this Buddhist temple where he's going to have her cremated. Mind you, she's in a coffin on this drive the entire time. They've said their goodbyes, right?
Okay.
They bring the coffin inside of the temple when he gets there, and they set it off to the side to handle all the paperwork, the mundane tasks that you need to do when you're about to cremate someone. And as the brother is talking to the temple's general and financial affairs manager, they start to hear this very faint knocking noise.
What?
Suddenly, they realize the knocking isn't coming from the front door of the building. No, girl. The knocking is coming from inside the coffin.
What? Wait, this person was that calm to just knock,
girl,
knock.
I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck? I would come out of there like the Tasmanian devil. I would break it like a cartoon. Yeah, there would just be a dust cloud.
Girl, yeah. Everyone's getting splinters in this bitch.
Yeah.
So the manager's tells his staff, you guys open the coffin. So they open it. And when they crack this puppy open, she starts to open her eyes and she's still knocking on the side of the coffin, just out of it, kind of.
Oh God. I'd be like, this is a zombie.
Girl, put her in the retort. Put her in. She's a witch.
Put a stake through her heart.
Burn her at the stake. She's a witch, Annie. She's literally still knocking on the side of the coffin. What's even wilder is that the manager told news outlets that she'd been bedridden for 2 years, according to her brother, and had become unresponsive several days prior. And 2 full days before the coffin was brought to the temple, she had appeared to stop breathing. So she literally probably spent 2 full days inside of that coffin.
Just fine.
Just
sleeping.
Out. She's out. And that's only part of their journey. They had traveled 300 miles with her in the coffin the entire time to go to this hospital in Bangkok because I guess she had requested that when she passes away, that hospital is where she wanted her organs donated. But when the time came, this girl, it was not her time. It was not her time to go. And so apparently her brother took her to that hospital and they were like, no, we cannot accept her body because he didn't have a proper death certificate for her. That's when he was like, well, I guess I'm going to take her to the temple and just get her cremated. And so he goes, he does that drive. He goes to the fucking temple after that. And when he gets there, they tell him oh, well, we actually cannot provide cremation services without a valid death certificate. But then,
thank God for the death certificate.
Yeah, but then knock, knock, knock. It's while they're having that conversation that she starts fucking knocking on the casket, and she's like, "Get me the fuck out of here!" You gotta let me go, honey. I've been to the hospital. I'm fine. Just let me out
They
of
didn't
here.
want me. What makes you think the temple's gonna want me,
Girl? So afterwards, the manager tells his staff, he's like, please take her to a nearby hospital. She needs to get treatment. And in a case of humanity at its finest, the temple actually offered to cover the full cost of all of the medical expenses for her at the hospital, which I thought was so sweet because that's not their responsibility.
I thought you were going to say they offered to cremate her.
So they did it.
She was too loud.
No, but that's so nice because it's not their fault that he brought her in and she was still alive. I think I thought that was
beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all we know about that specific situation. But I texted you about this next story today, and I don't think you saw the text.
Okay.
Because you didn't respond.
Okay.
When I was trying to find sources about this incident, I ended up finding a story about a woman named Olive Martin. This is so fucking crazy, Madison. So I click on the article because I thought it was going to be about the woman in Thailand because it was so recent. It came out like a day or two ago, the article. And I am met with a picture of a woman who looks identical to my mother.
Hold on.
Go to the group text we're in.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Isn't that like identical?
Whoa. My like stomach just dropped.
I know. I have chills.
Whoa. Spencer, that's crazy.
Crazy. Same hair, everything.
Same smile, same nose.
Oh, I sent it to my family's group chat and I was like, and they were all like, oh my God, I thought that was mom. Like, I thought that was a picture of her. I sent it to the champ and he's like, I like sent him an explanation. He's like, genuinely, when I saw that photo, I thought that was your mom. It was so crazy. It's unreal how much it looks like her. The champ's like, that's got to be a sign. Like she's like waving in the picture, which is funny too, because in my mom's obituary picture, she's waving too. So it's like, it was just so uncanny how much they looked alike. And I did see another picture of the woman because I was like, God, I got to know more about this woman. The other one I saw wasn't as similar, but the one that's used in that article is like uncanny. It's unreal.
The bangs, like everything.
Everything. And yeah, I'm just going to take it as my mom was helping me at work today helping me at work because the story attached to the photograph is equally unreal.
Oh.
So Olive, she was 54 years old and she ended up, I guess she was at home and she had a seizure while she was making some toast, which ironically is also, it parallels my mom's story because my mom had made a piece of toast right before calling 911. Yeah. But this woman, Olive, she has a seizure. She comes to, she calls 911 and she is picked up by the NEAS, which is the Northeast Ambulance Service. This is in the UK, I believe. And they came to her house, they take her and they declared her dead. So instead of taking her to the hospital's emergency room, they take her to the hospital's mortuary where, they find out she is still very much alive. There's movement happening, all of that. Unfortunately, she does end up passing away shortly after. And they didn't specify the timing in any of the articles that I read, but they said it wasn't until some time after that she died. But her cause of death was ruled as brain damage from a lack of oxygen. And that's where this turns into sort of an investigation, because if they had taken her straight to the hospital, in theory, her death could have been prevented.
Oh.
So now there's a court hearing underway for her family, or on behalf of the family, and a full internal investigation happening to figure out what went wrong and why they took her to the mortuary instead of taking her to the emergency room. Her family did release a statement to Metro saying, quote, "Our mom will always be remembered for her kind heart, her infectious personality, and her positivity day in and day out," they said, according to the outlet. "She was our warrior and she will be deeply missed by every person she has ever met. We would request privacy at this difficult time." Aww. And so I think this actually happened back in October of 2023, the incident itself and her passing. But it was just this week that they posted that everything went public about the court hearing and about the internal investigation and stuff. So I'm just like, that is crazy to me, though.
That is crazy. What a shock that she looks so much like your mom.
I know. Well, truly. So I had written about the story from Thailand because I was like, this is such like a crazy story. And we had been getting it sent to our email inbox a bunch. And so I was like, okay, like I cannot wait to talk about this. But they're really like, my coffin spinner was going to be even shorter And then literally, like, as I was like compiling all my notes and everything for the episode, I was like, I want to see if there's like another article where I can find anything like last minute. And then I came across the Olive story and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Damn.
Wild.
Truly was your mom like, hey, look at this.
Truly. So
oh,
that's what had me spinning in my coffin this week. The idea that I could be in it and still be alive.
God, I can't believe stuff like that still happens.
It's crazy that in today's world that there's not even just like, you feel like there'd be just something you can scan.
I know. I know. Total. So like a QR code or something.
Yeah. Like we've got AI and shit. Can't we just...
We have robots walking around delivering our food.
Yeah, but we can't tell if someone's actually dead before we put them in the retort.
Yeah.
Scary.
God.
Scary because like that woman, what if she didn't knock for whatever reason? Or what if she was just like in like a comatose state or something?
I know.
But then I started getting suspicious too because I'm like, why is the brother... He's gone to the hospital. Now he's gone to the temple to have her cremated. Is he just trying to get rid of her? Like,
no, he's got her. But what is he trying? What is he going to do with her body?
I guess that's true. You can't really store that. But he could have gone and gotten it. Like, why didn't he just go do it the normal route by getting a death certificate?
True. That is true.
I don't know.
Uh-oh. She may have to watch her back.
Yeah, for real. I'm starting rumors, but yeah. Crazy.
Allegedly.
All alleged, of course. And allegedly, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to hear what had Madison spinning in her coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Madison, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Well, girly and girlies, I want us to all grab our best black attire because once again, we're talking about mourning.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know we have talked about mourning on this show 1,000 different ways. From mourning warehouses, mourning attire, mourning jewelry, and you have to buy our book because we talk all about that. However, we have not covered the actual government issued national days of mourning.
Oh.
And there are international days of mourning too, but I think I'll just be covering national in the U.S. days of mourning on this episode, but I can do a second episode at some point.
You heard her, people.
Of international, yeah. And these, if you don't know, these are the days where entire countries collectively go like, okay, everybody stop doing what you're doing. We are sad now. Sometimes these days flags get lowered and fly at half mast.
Other than 9/11, I really can't think of anywhere collectively everyone knows like this day is in mourning. Like I know there's Memorial Days or there's like Martin Luther King Day. There's...
Yeah, it does get kind of murky because there are not a ton of official national days of mourning because usually it's the president who will proclaim it.
Okay.
It doesn't happen very often. Like the first official like documented ones weren't till 1965, which or till the 1960s, which we'll get to. I'm going to go over a couple that are unofficial, but for the most part, these are official documented national days of mourning.
Got it.
So collective grief is one of the oldest human rituals. We know that by now. There's proof in ancient societies, like when a king died, the entire community would perform grief. And we've talked about professional mourners and like that whole history.
Moirologist.
And we know, obviously, the Victorians took everything very, very seriously. But you start to see it in the 18th and 19th century where whole countries began like formally announcing single days of mourning for big national traumas, whether it was the death of a head of state or an assassination or disasters or battles or tragedies, they would be declared. I searched the National Day of Mourning in the newspaper archives, and the oldest that I could find, like from the archives, was from the Observer in 1855, and they were talking about a National Day of Mourning for Lord Dudley Stuart of Poland. But it's so old that like you can't even read the newspaper, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But the first one I found from the United States was the Grand Rapids Eagle from May 31st, 1865, that said, "No eagle tomorrow. No paper will be issued from this office tomorrow." It being a national day of mourning for the death of President Lincoln. And right after that, President Andrew Johnson makes it an official proclamation, because I guess he was vice president, now he's president.
Yeah.
And in that proclamation, you can find all the official proclamations in my sources, but I'm paraphrasing this. But like the language that he used was very like, our country is in crisis, very like Bible verses.
Yeah.
He says the U.S. has become one great house of mourning because Lincoln, the head of the family, had been taken away. He also explains that the grief is so massive that the nation needs a special day set aside to collectively humble itself and grieve. I think it was called like a day of humiliation or something, which today means I think of something else.
Yeah.
So he designates Thursday, May 25th, 1865 as a national day of humiliation and mourning. And he urges every American to pay respect to the flag, to gather in their local places of worship. And he basically says, like, we need to sanctify this loss and we need to come together as a nation. So this was the first big official nationwide government declared day where Americans were told like businesses close, public life stops, churches are supposed to fill up, and everybody participates in this like synchronized grief.
It's so funny because like we've lost so much respect, I feel like, in certain ways, that if anything like that happened now, I don't think it would be this big. I think it would just be like life goes on. There's so much news every day that I don't think
we're inundated with so much, but there's also, we know so much more now. So it's like, yeah, there's less respect, but
I'm trying to think
for a reason,
I guess, of like whose death could hold that impact, you know, where like businesses would close down and like, I just cannot think of a single person. Like I just don't think
Taylor Swift, maybe.
Don't even put that out there.
No, but you know what I mean? Like a big, like somebody loved like that.
You know, yeah, I don't think there's like as many like people that are just beloved nowadays.
Yeah.
Probably us, honestly. Probably us.
Well, that goes without saying.
Probably the flags are getting lowered to half mast.
If they're not, I don't know what.
Probably it's a collective mourning felt nationwide, coast to coast.
Businesses are closing. People are in church praying. They're full.
But plot twist. Viva la Mexico, baby. We had to fake our deaths because we murdered that woman in her house.
We murdered her, but she actually didn't die, and she was in the coffin knockin. So now we're really in trouble. She
Full
could
circle,
identify
baby.
us.
Yeah, she knows.
Fuck,
we
man.
got Red and Fred over here.
Red and Fred coming at you. Ooh, baby. Well, next, chronologically, is FDR, Franklin
Dolores.
It's something, I can't remember. It's Franklin Delone or Franklin D. Roosevelt. He dies on April 12th, 1945. But this is where
Franklin Donna.
Franklin Donna Roosevelt. We love Donna.
Love her.
Donna. So Franklin Donna Roosevelt, he dies on April 12th, 1945. But this is where it's weird because his National Day of Mourning like wasn't official because we were literally weeks before the end of World War II in Europe. So we were still like at the height of World War II.
What year was this?
1945.
Is that when World War II ended?
It ended in 1945, yeah, but it was a few weeks before it ended. So we were still in it.
Okay.
He collapsed in Georgia. He had a stroke, I believe, and the country went into like immediate shock because he had been, and I did know this, but I forgot about this. He had been the president for 12 years, girl. Yeah, he was
Good
like
for him.
crazy.
Was he? Actually, wasn't he the last one to serve 3 terms? Didn't they put it into effect that you can only serve 2
I
consecutive
think
terms
so.
after that? Yeah.
Yeah. Girl, who knows? Someone's going to fact check the shit out of us, but I'm almost positive.
Remember when we used to do those quizzes and it'd be like,
Yes.
can you name 5 U.S. presidents? And we'd be like, no. I don't even know where I am, man.
When did women get credit cards? We're like, what?
Remember?
Crazy. We should know, but we don't.
We don't.
But he had been the president for 12 years at that point. He led the country through the Great Depression. He was the wartime president. And then he died. And it was like such a delicate time in history, obviously. It was World War II. So 2 days after his death on April 14th, the U.S. observes what is essentially a national day of mourning for him. But again, it like wasn't official. But also, it wasn't like an everything shuts down day of mourning. Like flags were lowered and federal buildings paused official business, but a lot of everyday life had to keep going on because the country was still at war. So there was so many people working in factories at that time producing supplies for the war. They couldn't stop. And the country, like, we couldn't afford to turn our lights off and mourn. So the National Day of Mourning existed, sort of, but in wartime. So flags were still lowered and flew at half-mast. Churches were still packed with memorial services. I also read that radios, and I thought this was cool, instead of playing like normal music, all they played that day was like funeral music and like hymns and news bulletins. But what I didn't know this either. He also didn't have like a huge state procession or elaborate ceremony at the Capitol. Like usually a president lays in state in the Capitol.
Yeah.
He didn't want that. He had like a very private ceremony in the White House.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was cool, and I thought it was actually really respectful.
Very admirable, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but he did have a funeral train that drew in like hundreds of thousands of people. And like that's when people really mourned. Like factory workers were allowed to stop mid-shift to go pay their respects. Families came out. Everybody was silent.
Princess Diana, she was the last one who I feel like that really did it.
I didn't go into her National Day of Mourning because it was international, but they didn't declare it a National Day of Mourning. And it was really controversial.
Wow. That's shameful because she was the people's princess.
I know.
I remember my mom had the CD from her memorial service.
Really?
Yeah, it had that song. Everything. It was like a 2 CD thing.
Oh, love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love a CD.
I know.
I mean, I don't, but obviously it's so much easier now, but it was pretty special, like getting a CD and then listening to it.
When we used to pay artists.
True. Clock it. So it's interesting to compare the national days of mournings of like other heads of state that happened not during wartime and FDR. Austin put up a ton of pictures I have in my notes of all the things. Okay, next we have none other than JFK, one of Spencer's favorites. We've talked about his funeral before, so I'm not going to, get into all that, but quickly, JFK is assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. 3 days later, on November 25th, Lyndon B. Johnson declares it an official national day of mourning. And this is where we really have, a lot of people say, this is the first official national day of mourning.
Okay, because when you started the coffin spinner and you said, that it was kind of not till 1965 that things were... Or what? Yeah, that's what you said.
Till the 1960s, yeah.
1960s. JFK was my first thought.
Yeah. And it truly, first of all, this was the first national mourning that was ever televised in America because we all had TVs. And so all 3 major networks, CBS, NBC, and ABC, cleared their schedules There were no commercials for 24 hours. There were no shows, no sitcoms, no regular programming, just funeral coverage. And then the only other time in history that this has actually happened, like where TV has kind of gone silent, was for the moon landing and for, of course, 9/11. The moon landing, yeah. So everything closed. Schools closed, offices closed, Disneyland closed, government services paused, restaurants shut down, department stores closed, sporting events were postponed, even major airlines slowed their schedules. Some churches pulled 24-hour shifts and stayed open. Even post offices, which I thought this was crazy because the mail never stops, you know?
Yeah.
Post offices didn't deliver. It was on a Monday. They did not deliver for that day. Instead, the day before, on a Sunday, they delivered so that everybody could mourn, even the postal workers. And yeah, I'll include a ton of pictures. There's a ton of really cool and eerie black and white photos of like businesses shut down, like in honor of the National Day of Mourning. So I'll include a bunch of those on the YouTube. Next official day of mourning was not for a head of state, was not for a president, was for a private citizen, and that was Martin Luther King Jr. He was assassinated on April 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, and immediately the country starts to unravel. President Lyndon B. Johnson declares Sunday, April 7th, 1968, an official national day of mourning for Dr. King. And again, this is the first time that a national day of mourning is proclaimed for a private citizen, which was huge.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. As soon as the news of his assassination spread, riots and protests and uprising broke out in more than I've read between 110 cities, 150 cities. It was just chaos everywhere. Rightfully so. People were fucking angry. The National Guard had to deploy 50,000 troops all over the U.S. But what I thought was really interesting was that America was told to mourn, and we talk about it so much on this show. You can't tell somebody how to mourn or how to grieve. And there were some people who mourned in the way that the president said to do, like attend church, hold memorial services, reflect on his legacy. But there were other people that mourned in the way that they felt necessary, which was rage and, being hurt and heartbroken. Yeah, so cities honored the proclamation with packed churches and vigils and silent marches, but also there were other places that were in full chaos. I looked on the National Museum of African American History and Culture, which I think is run by the Smithsonian. I have it linked in the notes, but they have a quote from the New York Times that says, quote, "Dr. King's murder is a national disaster. President Lyndon Johnson declared a national day of mourning and lowered Americans' flags to half-mast. Many white Americans were saddened or appalled. Others felt untouched by the murder, and some actually celebrated, calling King a troublemaker. King's funeral in Atlanta drew leaders from around the world. Later, President Johnson pressured Congress to pass the Civil Rights Act of 1968 in tribute to King's work." Also, in that article, they include the cover of Life magazine with Coretta Scott King on the cover at his funeral. And it is one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. And she is so striking and beautiful. She has her, I'll include it. She has her funeral veil on, and you can, it's one of those things, a picture tells 1,000 words. You can see she's so hurt, but also so stoic. And it's such a good picture. But before I go further, I do want to say that a national day of mourning that kept coming up in my research that was not proclaimed by the government, but that I think is really important to talk about and is still happening every year, is called the National Day of Mourning. And this is held every Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts. And it started in 1970 when Wamsutta Frank James, a Wampanoag leader, was invited to give a Thanksgiving speech until organizers read it and said absolutely not, because his speech told the real story of Thanksgiving, like the genocide, the stolen land, the broken treaties, instead of like the Pilgrims and Indians had a cute dinner
what
together.
are you talking about? They brought us corn and they said, here's the land, honey, take it.
Well, so instead of being silenced, I guess Native activists held their own gathering on Coles Hill, right above the Mayflower replica, and declared it National Day of Mourning. And so every year since, they hold this like protest. So Indigenous people and allies march through Plymouth. They honor their Native ancestors. They protest historical and ongoing injustices, but they also call attention to like land theft and poverty and missing and murdered Indigenous people. But they intentionally do it on the fourth Thursday of every November.
Do you remember when your sister said she went to
She felt she was a pilgrim.
Plymouth Rock
woman.
And she had a vision that she was a pilgrim?
Yeah, and she was holding a baby.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? But she felt it strongly.
Damn. I love that they do that. I mean, I Thanksgiving these days, I feel like we all just think of it as like a nice meal with our family as a holiday. I don't think.
But we're in school, we're taught
right.
Like what you said. Like, yeah. I have so many pictures of me as a kid, like dressed as a pilgrim.
Girl,
making cornucopias.
Yes, fully. Making the cornucopia. Yeah, all of it.
Girl, we don't know.
We didn't know. We're learning.
We're learning. Okay, so the next National Day of Mourning was declared on September 11th, but not the September 11th that I know you're thinking of.
Plot twist.
Plot twist. This one happened in 1983. So on September 1st, 1983, Korean Airlines flight 007, which was a commercial jet, was shot down by the Soviet Union, and 269 people were killed. So men, women, children, all of whom were on a commercial jet going to wherever, just normal flight, were killed. 10 days later, President Ronald Reagan issues Proclamation 5093, which declared Sunday, September 11th, 1983, a national day of mourning in the United States. So that was another official one. But the next official 9/11, as we know, was September 11th, 2001. So we all know, we've talked about it. We all know where we were, can all remember it. It's crazy. That is like, sticks so strongly out in my mind.
I can't believe that it's been 24 years.
I know.
That's what's wild. That there's plenty of probably actually people listening that weren't alive yet.
I know. Totally. It is crazy. Well, 3 days after the attacks, President at the time, George W. Bush, issued a proclamation declaring that Friday, September 14th, 2001 was a national day of prayer and remembrance.
September 14th?
Yeah. It was the national day of mourning
for
everybody. Which, I have to tell you, I remember that day. I remember because it was a Friday, and I remember it was right after September 11th. Like, that whole week was like a blur.
Yeah.
I was in 6th grade, and I remember we all had to go out to the blacktop, like the playground, for that National Day of Mourning, and we had to have a moment of silence.
We did a moment of silence at my school, too.
Okay, because that was part of the proclamation. It was at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Everybody in the United States had to have a moment of silence.
It was such like a thing that's like hard to describe unless you felt it. But that time, like you could almost compare it to like a COVID pandemic or something where it like kind of brought everyone together because you put everyone in the same spot. Like that's the only thing I can think that like feels kind of like a similar-ish. They're apples and oranges, being like, I'm not trying to compare them whatsoever, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you
like
mean.
we were all in it together.
Yeah.
That type of feeling. And that's like
Right.
what 9/11 felt like, is we were so united as a country because we were all like,
what the
fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And like, fuck the terrorist and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah. So at 12 p.m. Eastern time on that morning day, like everybody paused, which we were in school. So it would have been interesting to like be our age now and see it all happen.
Yeah.
But people stepped out of buildings, cars pulled over, television stations just cut to total silence for that moment, which is kind of eerie. Candlelit vigils literally were everywhere, but also something was interesting. Every plane in the sky was grounded because of September 11th, but flights stopped altogether. Airports shut down, and it was the first time in U.S. history that all air traffic just stopped. And globally, they mourned too. Like, I read at the Buckingham Palace, they played the Star-Spangled Banner. And
Wow.
like,
Yeah. Other countries I remember were fully like offering support and all of that. It's just like, it's crazy because that feels like a vintage time now. I just cannot picture another event in which the world would come together like that.
Yeah. I remember the day it happened. I was like getting ready for school and my mom comes flying down the stairs and she's like, "Robbers!"
Robbers?
She's like, "Robbers just smashed into the World Trade Center."
Oh no.
I know. God. I guess because we couldn't fathom. Oh, I don't know. Wild.
Yeah, wait, actually, let's see what time 9/11 happened.
I think it was at like 9 o'clock Eastern time or something. Because I remember it was like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. my time.
It was 7:46 a.m. It was 5:46 a.m. Or 4:46? No, that can't be. Because I remember, I was up like getting ready for school.
Plane?
This could have been before like, or maybe it was just like it happened and that's just when we were seeing it on the news, you know, because it's like parents would turn on the news in the morning. And
do you like vividly remember?
I can remember being in the living room at our house. I remember like my mom briefly I was in 4th grade and I remember my mom briefly kind of filling us in, and then I remember going to school and everyone was talking about it. Like, I can't imagine being a teacher at that time trying to describe what was happening to the children. But like,
oh, they rolled in the television.
Oh yeah, yes.
You remember that?
Which aside from 9/11, it was always a really good day when they rolled those suckers, and it was always like, hell yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true. You know, actually, my 6th grade teacher was obsessed with the Beatles. Had Beatles memorabilia everywhere. And now that I'm reading that Charles Manson book, I'm like, allegedly, were you one of the girls? Because the timing.
Maybe, and the location of where you went to school.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
We got to look her up. She might be on a list somewhere, honey.
She might be. That's true. That's very true. After 9/11, we didn't have another National Day of Mourning until 2004, which was in honor of Ronald Reagan. George W. Bush declared June 11th, 2004, a National Day of Mourning because of his death. There was a full shutdown day. Federal offices closed, courts closed, mail paused, flags lowered, the whole shebang. And then next in 2006, we had another one for Gerald Ford, who was a president, allegedly.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Okay. And then in 2018, we had another one, which was George H.W. Bush. Federal government closed, financial markets paused, and flags were flown at half-mast. Okay, but the last National Day of Mourning that we had, or the
most recent national...
That's what I'm looking for. The most recent National Day of Mourning that we had was for Jimmy Carter. He passed away on December 29th, 2024. And I guess we don't even realize it, but like federal offices closed, flags were lowered on that day. And I mean, we're just fucking at home all day. So, but yeah, so that
interesting.
Is your official National Days of Mourning.
That actually is so like interesting to me because I thought there was honestly going to be a ton more.
Well, it's murky. There's like unofficial ones. There's a lot of national days of mourning for like especially presidents are held on their funeral days. And so it's it's like murky. So there you have it. I hope we don't have to have another one, you know?
It does. Like, I think one of the things that I really love learning about on the show is like those little factoids, especially from history. I love US history and I love learning about it.
Me too.
And like, I know we joke, we do know a lot. I'm going to give us credit because I know we joke and we're like, oh, I don't know all the presidents. I don't think most people could name every single president we've had. If you can, hats off to you. But I do love learning all of the tidbits about history. And it's so fascinating. And it's been so fascinating over the past couple or 5 years since we've been doing the show, 4 years, 5 years.
5.
That like just seeing and learning about how grief has been handled, especially by our country, since the fucking Victorian era until now.
Right.
It's cool. It's cool to hear about.
I know. Very, very true.
I'm ready to wrap up the show, I guess.
Let's wrap it up, baby.
I don't know why. I thought that I was like giving my final words. We've still got more to cover, including my obituary for the week. I mean,
he felt the spirit of the National Day.
I did. Girl, this one's fucked up.
Okay, tell me, girl.
This is from September 4th, 1916. It's from the Courier, and it says, killed near Attica. Louis Frang, mangled by Wabash train, was sitting on track. Quote, Attica, Indiana, September 4th. Louis Frang was killed by Wabash train number 3 Sunday morning about half a mile this side of Riverside. He was sitting on the track when the train passed over him and both his legs were cut off and otherwise mangling him. He was 40 years old and was a native of Decatur. He had been employed on the John Hillier farm. His mother, Mrs. John Glutting, and 2 sisters survived. The funeral will be conducted from his mother's home on South Perry Street Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
I know. Fucked up.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. But also in that same paper, I read this story and I was like, I would be so embarrassed if this was in the newspaper because it just said falls on stairway, injured about head. It says Michael Berry, age 69, fell off the sidewalk at 4th and Columbia Streets this morning and alighted on his head at the foot of the stairway leading to the Western Union Telegraph office. He was injured about the head and was taken to the jail hospital in the city ambulance.
Oh my God. Embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Imagine if you fell and then it was on the fucking newspaper the next day.
Yeah, like woman fell off scooter.
Yeah.
Injures ankle.
In Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City was the last time we got a big ankle crack from you. I remember we were walking.
Oh, yeah.
And your foot got stuck in the track for like the little train thing.
Bad.
And you went.
Because at that time, too, my feet were swollen as fuck. And I was in cowboy boots. You would have had to. I would have had to let a train hit.
I had to pry you out.
I know.
And
but I wouldn't be able to even get
honey,
my foot
you've let a train hit it before. Okay. I know about them high school years.
Funeral train, honey. What about?
Ed Gein would love that. Okay, who do you have?
Oh my God. Okay, so this is from the New York Times. Jackie Vernon, a television and nightclub comedian, died of a heart attack yesterday at his home in Hollywood. He was 62 years old. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's a New York Times obituary, so it's,
she's got
lengthy.
girth.
Yes. But he was in so many, he was on The Tonight Show, The Dean Martin Show. Like, he was a great comedian. But he also was the voice of Jack Frost in one of the, like, holiday things.
Like the vintage, claymation ones?
The vintage ones, yeah. It says, in his television, club, and Las Vegas performances, Mr. Vernon frequently played the hapless loser, whose deadpan routines often combined self-deprecating humor and imaginatively offbeat social and psychological satire. In one routine, the portly comedian described himself as someone, quote, who spends his time at parties in the room with the coats and whose idea of a good time is to go down to the bus terminal and pretend I'm going somewhere. Mr. Vernon, who befriended many young comedians, performed at many dinner and stock theater productions, as well as a number of revues, including At Home at the Palace, a 1967 Broadway show with Judy Garland. He made 3 comedy albums and appeared in several movies. And then it says he is survived by his wife, Hazel, a son, David, 2 daughters, Lisa and Tracy, and a stepson, Ralph Verone, all of Los Angeles, and his sister, Dolores Magnotta of New York. Okay, but the reason I even came across his obituary is because just yesterday or the day before, he's been all in the news. He's been dead for a long time, but he's in the news right now because his son, I guess, revealed that he had a ton of other kids and families.
Oh my God, wait. He was Frosty the Snowman. He was Frosty.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said Jack Frost. He was Frosty the Snowman in the animated Frosty the Snowman, bitch.
Yes.
I just rewatched that the other day. Saw an article about it this morning, and I was waiting till you were done, and I was going to be like, I don't remember his name, but the guy who played Frosty the Snowman just got outed by his son as having 3 secret families, and it's the same guy. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So there you have it.
He lived a life, honey.
He lived a life.
Back when you could have a secret family. Now you have TikTok and whatnot. Good luck.
Well, I read the article and it didn't seem that secret, honestly. It was like he was married a few times before and had kids while he was like on the road. But yeah, his son was airing it out allegedly. So
damn.
Yeah, so there you have it.
Well, my girlie, we have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
It means it's time for some dumb
ass
raccoons.
Oh, is there a raccoon?
Okay, look at this picture I'm sending you right now. It's my favorite thing. I'm going to put it as a background on my phone.
Oh, I love him.
Well, he is my criminal this week.
No, raccoons are.
You
hate him, don't you?
I have a soft spot for this one. I kind of like his vibes a little bit.
Okay.
This is also from the New York Times. It says, quote, a raccoon broke into a liquor store the other day and drank his fill. Rum, moonshine, and even peanut butter whiskey, and then passed out on the floor of the bathroom. The raccoon entered the ABC liquor store in Ashland, Virginia through the ceiling early Saturday morning. It wreaked havoc, said Carol Moyer, the public relations manager for Virginia ABC. It broke several bottles and consumed the spirits. In addition to the rum, moonshine, and peanut butter whiskey, the raccoon also got into some vodka and, seasonally appropriate, eggnog.
Oh.
If you have not tried it, peanut butter whiskey is excellent, Miss Moyer said. The raccoon apparently agreed. Its entrance triggered the security system, which led the police and animal control to respond. An animal control officer found the raccoon face down on the bathroom floor, placed it in a carrier, and took it to the shelter. Its hangover lasted about an hour and a half, said Chief Jeff Parker of Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter. The raccoon awoke and had no apparent injuries, except perhaps remorse, and it was safely released back into the wild.
Oh, good for that little raccoon, man. He had a day.
He's like, you guys aren't going to fucking believe what I got into last night. I mean, the holidays are hard. They'll drive you to drinking. They are hard.
He probably had a whole family, a ton of kids.
He's like, I just need to do one getaway in Virginia this weekend. And just, I need me time.
All the Christmas shopping, these damn fucking kids.
No, he just got laid off. He just got laid off. And he's like,
around the holidays.
He's like, I can't fucking believe this.
He got laid off at the trash factory.
They took his dumpster.
They took his fucking dumpster.
Speaking of, they took my trash cans.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever get to the bottom
we called
of
them. They apologized. They were like, sometimes we accidentally, like, they'll fall into the truck.
Oh.
And then they but they did it to 2 of them. So it's pretty incredible. But they were like, yeah, we don't know what happened. We're bringing you new ones. And I said, okay.
Ooh, okay. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Who you got this week?
Okay, so I have one where sometimes the dumbasses are not the criminals, but the people sentencing them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen this, but this is from CBS News. This is a follow-up to the initial picture that I saw. It says a Missouri judge who wore an Elvis Presley wig in his courtroom and played the singer's music from his phone during court proceedings has agreed to a deal that would cut his career on the bench short. Judge Matthew Thornhill in suburban St. Louis faces a 6-month unpaid suspension under the deal he reached with the state board to avoid a disciplinary hearing. After the suspension, he would serve 18 more months on the bench before resigning. This agreement was reached because I guess around Halloween, this judge would always come to work with this plastic Elvis wig and would ask people, like, I was reading the article, but I'll paraphrase. It was like he would ask people if they wanted Elvis music playing. And like, but he could be sentencing like terrible people and he's in this fucking wig.
I am for it. I love it.
The more I read, though, the more I think he allegedly maybe is like a little shady-ish.
Okay.
Like maybe accepted. They were accusing him of a bunch of different things.
I'm telling you this, as somebody who's been to court many a time in their lives, I wish we had some entertainment.
I know. I kind of love it.
Did you have to go to court for the Mervyn's thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
The last time I went to court was for, I think, like, to pay off a ticket, like, or no, it was a ticket of some sort that I got. And, like, I went to try and fight it. I was, like, in my early 20s. And I remember going and just being like, I hate this. Mm-hmm. Such a dismal feeling. Like, I have so many friends who are lawyers, and I'm like, I guess if you're on that side of it, maybe it's not, but I just feel like courtrooms are always like the most crazy energy.
No windows. No. Yeah. Dark, quiet. Yeah.
Stressful.
Stress
diarrhea.
The energy. Yeah. Big time.
Well,
we've got a court hearing. We got to go.
Yeah, we got to go to court, and we'll allow you to mourn us for the next 6 days until you see us again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But we'll be back next week. Don't mourn too hard with some coffin spinners.
And obituary.
And dumb
as
criminals.
Criminals.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.